Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about how you can fight Sagat in Street Fighter 6. Again, because I already actually done a video on how you can fight Sagat. This was back when he first came out. I did like solving the Sagat problem, and this is a video that I was really proud of. I'm gonna leave it in the pinned comment so you can check it out. But this is a character that since he came out, he have evolved, and the ways that people play Sagat have evolved. And I figured I really wanted to address him, right? Because he's extremely common. If you check out the character usage stats, and I'm focusing mostly now on Master and above, because that is where like you will see Sagat every time. But hey, if you check out the popularity in Master rank, he's top 3. Like he's more blades than Ken, which is actually insane. High Master, which is like 1600 MR, he's number 2. Grandmaster, which is like 1700 MR, he's number 1. So it's like I feel like there is a good portion of players who are below 1500 up to 1700, so everything below 1800 he's extremely common, right? And even once you get to 1800 to legend, he's number 2. So it's like these stats show you that Sagat is extremely common. If you're an MR, you're seeing Sagat all the time. And the video I did, I was really proud of, but I feel like there is more to say now that the character have gotten buff. Maybe it is the Blast effect. It's extremely common, so I figured maybe I should do this video to complement some of what I did back then and really focus on what some of the strategies that you can do, right? So a couple of things that I do want to say. As you know, and I talked about it before, his high shots, the fact that most of the roster, like they're gonna be able to sweep it, and this is gonna depend on your sweep. But the idea with these is that like you walk forward and you sweep, and you can sweep him from a really far range, right? This is primarily like the best answer for that. Bison have a really good sweep, but most of the roster should be able to get sweep. Now, one really cool thing is that if your character have a slide option, you can almost full screen slide him. Like Bison can say from here, and you're gonna get the slide, right? That is almost like full screen, right? And that is if he's going for the low shot. Even if he did like the faster shot, like you're still gonna be able to punish counter it on reaction. So Bison got this, Kimberly got really long range on the slide as well, Elena got slides, there's a good portion of the roster member who got options like these, Dulcim, etc. So that is something to keep in mind. You can punish him and make him really stop trying to throw that. And if you force Sagat to throw the low shot, the frame data on this one is not that great, so it's much easier to deal with, and it's 1 speed as well, so it's like it's much easier to perfect parry, right? Which that is cool, right? Now, what I really wanted to talk about with this video is how you can handle the pressure of Sagat, right? Because what mostly people lose to with Sagat is Sagat doing that. Right, it is a standing medium punch pressure, and let me actually big Sagat for a bit here and say we got Luke or whatever, right? Because what's really important about his standing medium punch is that once you block it, there is a lot of things that you could do. My favorite is to hold back, not down back. The thing is, there is not much Sagat can do if you actually just held backwards. So we're gonna make Luke block here, and then Luke is gonna walk backwards and say that he's gonna walk for like 300 frames, right? So after blocking this one, Sagat doesn't get a low shake. Like Luke is gonna walk backwards, right? So Sagat doesn't get a low shake. Crouching light kick into jabs will not reach. If he tried to go for like standing medium kick, that was not gonna reach as well. So walking backwards is a pretty good option. Now you can't do that if he's doing it out of a drive rush. He's gonna have too much advantage. But if he's just up close, expect that to happen. Right, that is gonna happen a lot. So just holding backwards is a pretty good solution. Now there is another thing that I want to say is that this string is very good because his standing medium punch is 6 frames, it's 4 frame active, and it's +2 on block, which means that which means that it will trade with crouching jabs, and that is what makes it so powerful, right? The fact that if he happen to trade with you, he's pretty much getting like a trade combo. That is pretty much what happens. But there are options outside of normals that you could do, and that is gonna be character specific. But say a character, for example, like Ken, right? Like Ken can do light kick Tatsu, and his light kick Tatsu is gonna trade favorably for Ken. So because Ken light Tatsu is 3 frame, right? So on this trade, Ken gets the advantage. He gets the more damage, he gets a knockdown. Another example where we can see something like this is, for example, a character like Viper. And Viper got an option, which is her like OD focus force, right? Where if Viper did the OD focus, that also starts armor on frame 3. So she's gonna beat Sagat, she's gonna get the punch counter, and she's gonna get the knockdown. So there are options that you could do, right? So between holding backward and just trying to challenge sometimes, that is what you could do. But obviously this string is tremendously powerful, right? His standing medium punch is tremendously powerful, and a lot of people are gonna be forced to act because you are losing your drive gauge. Now, typically, most of what Sagat players will do is that they will do 2 of them into crouching medium punch into the fireball, right? Which this string is really good, but it is also somewhat predictable. Like after 2 standing medium punches, the crouching medium punch is almost guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed. So yeah, I mean, this is the point where if I was to challenge with a parry, this is the crouching medium punch here, that third one, this is where I will try to contest. So I will say try to practice this gap, because this is the one that happens all the time, right? And the thing with his crouching medium punch options is that he's gonna do something after it, right? He's either gonna try to drive rush, or he's gonna try to low fireball, or he's gonna try to Tiger Nexus. And if he went for the light Tiger Nexus or the light fireball, these are block strings. So I think it's a very predictable normal to throw out, especially after 2 standing medium punches. So this is a gap that I think you should focus on or try to bait parry with, right? After 1 medium, I wouldn't do it personally. Now let's talk about Tiger Nexus, because this is a move where there is a lot of discussion about, right? There's a lot of tech. Oh, you need to overhead low fuzzy crouching jab. Here's the thing. Simplify the heck out of it, and once you do that, you're gonna have easier time versus Sagat, right? Because he does the initial part, right? And if it is the light or the medium, he does the 1 knee. If it is the heavy, he does 2. That heavy is safe. We're not really gonna talk about that right now, right? But light or medium, he does the 1 knee, right? And after that, he does the overhead, he does that medium kick follow-up, or he does the heavy kick follow-up. So we're talking about 4 options, right? Just the initial part, the overhead, the medium, and the final one, right? Which is the heavy. If you mashed your 4-framer crouching jab, or even like standing jab, that beats 3 out of the 4 options, right? If Sagat just does this, punish, counter, punished, right? If he does the medium, this is also gonna get punish, counter, punished, right? If he did the heavy, it's also kind of like the same deal, right? Where like you're gonna get the punish, counter, punish. So there are 4 different possibilities. 3 of them will lose to crouching jab, right? And what happens here, right? Say that he just did like the heavy follow-up, right? He was trying to be greedy, he was trying to go for the plus frames, and he did the heavy follow-up. You'll have to look at it from the lens of risk reward, right? So I call this out, I mash my jab, Ryu did 1600 damage. How can Sagat stop this? Well, he can do it by going for the overhead, right? And if I try to interrupt here, I get hit for 9%, 960 on the counter hit, that's about 10%. So I hit him, I do 1600 meterless, and I could do more, and obviously this is gonna depend on your character, right? But if he hit me, he does less damage, and the situation isn't that great. So you beat 3 of his 4 options with smashing jab, and you lose about 10% for guessing wrong, and he gets like slight OG situation, which honestly is not that bad. Like, these are not bad odds, right? That's a good option. Now, another option people will try to do is, for example, try to parry the follow-up, and I hate that. Like, this is coming from someone who play against Sagat so freaking much, because one of my main training partners, Apple Pie, is a Sagat player. Don't try to go for the parry here. Parry is an awful idea because risk reward is not gonna be in your favor. Because the thing is, the follow-ups all have different timings. So this is 15 frames. The medium kick is 17. The heavy is 21, so it's different timings, right? And here's the thing: if he just did the initial part and you try to parry, right, you're gonna be vulnerable, right? So he can grab you, and if he did that, you're losing 2k and you lost drive, right? So I got hit by 2k damage. Let's actually reset it so you can see it on like full HP. So in this instance, because I tried to go for a parry, I lost 2 and some change gauges, and he did 2k damage. Dude, I would match jab. If I match jab, I don't lose drive, and he does 1k. But this one, and he still gets OK because it's a punish counter grab, so he's gonna drive rush and gets OK. So parry is a really bad idea. Sure, it could be good if you happen to guess right, and maybe it could be rewarding, but I don't like the risk reward because there's different timings. You are much more likely to not get the perfect parry, and if he did call it out, you're gonna get done. So I would rather match the jab here. I think matching jab is the play. Now there is another option that you can do, which is drive impact. And drive impact, I think, is also a highly rewarding option because it will beat 2 of the 4 follow-ups. So this one, he's gonna get punish countered. If he did the heavy version, he also gets punish countered. Right? So he's gonna get punish countered, he's gonna lose, he's gonna eat a lot of damage because he did like, you got like the DI and now you get a combo on him. So this is a potentially high reward option. I think the move is annoying, right? And it forces you to act. And that is why I think the best ways to go about it is to either mash jab, and I'm simplifying it as much as I can. Either mash the jab, because I'm doing 1700, I lost like half a drive gauge on the initial knee, but I'm not losing any more if I guessed wrong, because he's gonna get a counter hit and not a punish counter. And if he just did, if I try to go for the drive impact, that's a high reward option as well. This is high risk because he can just do the board and then DI you back, or even if he did like the medium kick version, he can DI. But I think Sagat players don't typically do the medium kick version that much in this instance, but he can DI you back. This is catastrophic. If he calls you out, it is catastrophic, but it is an option that you should keep in your rotation. So mash jab or drive impact. These are the two basic, or just block it out, obviously, right? Because if you happen to block out and he did this, he is -5, so he is still unsafe, right? So that is just something to keep in mind. And that is pretty much how I go about it. I don't really try to engage in deeper level mix-ups. I either mash jab or I block. Sometimes I'll DI, but that's it, right? Especially if it's like really rewarding. If he's like low on drive and I know that maybe I can put him in burnout, sometimes I will, right? Now, the other thing about Sagat that I find to be, that I don't see people going for enough, in my opinion, is going for anti-airs on his Tiger knee, which is absolutely possible, by the way. Like, Tiger knee can be difficult to deal with, especially like the heavy tiger knee, but it will lose to anti-air moves. Like something, I play like Viper and Bison, and I've been back to playing Manon, but like this is very doable with Viper, right? If I'm playing Bison and he does this, what I will do is just Psycho Crusher, because Psycho Crusher does have aerial frames, right? So it's not like a super hard reaction, right? And if I'm playing Manon also have like a potentially like really rewarding option. I'm just showing you like some of the stuff that you can do, and I'm sure a lot of characters have options like this as well, but like Manon can get that if you got the call out, so that is not like a bad option, right? I figured I should show you this. Now, the thing about Sagat is, where do I stand in the neutral, right? And I know that if you're playing against Sagat a lot, then this move is a pain of your existence. Because here's the thing, a lot of Sagat moves are very good on startup. Like, I find it very difficult to challenge Sagat on the startup of his moves. Like that crouching medium punch, I think this is like a god move. The headbox, hurtbox is insane. Standing medium kick is very hard to stuff as well. These two moves specifically makes playing this mid-range against him really hard. But Sagat have a lot of extensions, right? He is easier to whiff punish, right? So if he's whiffing, the plan is, I'm gonna whiff punish him. But because you're playing in this range where you are trying to whiff punish him, Sagat is gonna throw that. And I know what the people will say. Just perfect parry it on reaction, or try to perfect parry it. And I don't think that is very realistic. This move have proximity block, hitbox on frame 1. And the thing is, Sagat steps in with his, because he's on player 2 side, he's stepping in with the left knee, right? As the left leg. But a lot of his moves will actually make him move in a similar manner. Like, if you will react to the movement, but I don't think you can react to this specifically, because the startup will be very similar to, say, this or that. He's just kicking with the same knee, and you're just reacting to the body movement, right? Like, unlike, say, let's actually bring Bison, because he have something very similar. Like, people can react to Bison heavy punch, which is hard, but some people react to it because it doesn't share. Like, here he's kicking with his right kick, but he's punching with his left arm. See what I'm saying? But Sagat, between his standing heavy punch, where he is stepping in with that side, standing medium kick, he is stepping in with that side, forward heavy kick, forward light kick, it is unlikely that you will perfect parry it. I don't think perfect parry on reaction is a very realistic option, right? But here's the thing. I know this move is mad annoying, right? You really have to utilize the fact that he's +3, you're +3, right? At this +3, Sagat is putting himself in your face and at a -3. So sure, this move is extremely annoying, but try to take back your turn and try to pressure him, and it is really good on some characters. Like, for example, if I am on Manon, like, you're putting yourself -3 in front of Manon. It's like, sure, buddy, like, sure, thank you. Gee, thank you, guy. But for the rest of the roster, I think it's just something that once you see the Twitch movement, I just try to down back. And that's it. Perfect parry, I don't think is very. I don't think it's like the greatest option. Another thing about this move is that many times Sagat players will try to use it in like OK situations, where it's like they will knock you down and they try to go for that as a way to take back their turn. But here's the thing. This move is only out of Drive Rush. It's gonna be only +1. Right? And it leaves him in throw range, but it's only +1. So it's not a terrible idea to challenge at this distance, right? Like, if he's going for this grab, right, most of the times your jab will beat it because it's only going to be +1 and the throw is 5 frames. And I don't see Sagat players, like, most of the time they're also gonna try, like, maybe they can call you out with a jab, but they try to throw out of this a lot. But so yeah, I think challenging here is not a terrible idea, right? It's a really good move, and it moves him a lot closer to you, so he gets to apply frame traps. But most of the time, I see Sagat player or like going for standing medium punch pressure or gonna try to grab you. It's very rare for me to see, or even they go for crouching light kick as well, which will trade, right? It's very rare to see him going for the crouching jab. And if he did go for the crouching jab, there's not that much that he could do at that point, right? Like, he's not gonna convert. So if you forced him to try to go for the crouching jab, that is not bad because he's not gonna be able to convert after that. That is his 4-framer. So it's not a frame trap that you have to respect as much. Right? That is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, these are just my thoughts on Sagat, some extended thoughts, some extended matchup tips on stuff that you could do against him. I think he's very good, but a lot of playing Sagat is really understanding risk-reward and what you can do, and when is the best time to mash, when is the best time to DI, when is the best time to try to wave punish, etc, etc, etc. Anyways, these are my thoughts on Sagat. What are your thoughts on the character? If you like this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. We'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.